Hey everyone, so this is just a review of my AT tool matrix that I made. Um, like a lot of you, my curriculum tasks were the reading, writing, math, science, social studies, and social skills. Um, for a lot of my design strategies here, I put UDL, SEDI, and Universal Access in every single curriculum task that there was because I just think it's appropriate for every task. Um, Strategies like flipped classroom, and I also have three-dimensional environment design as well. I put according to the topics that I thought they were most appropriate for, or at least that what I would use them for. As far as the hardware goes, computer, Chromebook, iPad, smart boards, and smart pens are going to be in every single curriculum task as well, just because they're good, classroom tools if you have access to them. As far as the software and tools go, there are a lot of them, so I won't cover every single one of them in detail, but I did mark a few of them here that I just personally liked and wanted to share with you guys. So for reading, audiobooks are great, honestly. I mean, it's as good as it gets in my opinion, as long as they don't have any kind of hearing impairment or anything like that. Audiobooks are awesome. Um, for videos and that kind of stuff, closed captioning, we all know about that stuff, especially with the, like YouTube videos and everything like that. Closed captioning is essential. Um, Natural Reader, I've used it a few times. I just marked it here just because I have used it. If anybody else has other opinions on it, whether it's good or bad, that would be great if you guys could share that. Read and Write, great, honestly. Scan, Read, Scan and Read Pro is really cool because you can actually scan texts and it'll read it back to you through either your computer or your phone or anything like that. And text to speech, obviously, any application that has that is great. And that's also going to be in every other curriculum task as well, along with speech to text is also going to be in a lot of them as well. Uh, Writing curriculum task here. Dragon Natural Speaking, I've used it several times because I particularly do not like typing. So it's a great way to write reports or just notes even, stuff like that. It's very easy to use for students. The Google apps, Apple apps, that kind of stuff are great as well. Um, so I have actually the Microsoft and I have the Google applications here. Um, and then the spell check and grammar checks, there's several different softwares that you can use. The one that I like and that I've heard a lot about is actually Grammarly. So if you guys can look that up or if you want to, feel free on that one. I think it's free, but I think there's an expansion that you have to pay for, so you'd have to look that one up. As far as math goes, so I am planning on teaching single subject math. So I put a lot of tools in this one. A lot of them I've used in the past as a student. GeoGebra right up here on top is probably my favorite graphing and shape organizer that I've ever seen. I used it a lot in my undergrad studies. Khan Academy pretty much got me through all of high school and all of my undergrad. So if you don't understand something in regards to math, honestly, there's probably a Khan Academy video for it. Um, if you guys get kind of good or acquainted with Excel, Excel is a great math tool. They have a lot of formulas and that kind of stuff, and you can pre-program formulas so that you can input values and it'll spit out the solutions to those formulas for you, so you don't have to keep doing it over and over and over, if that's okay, so you don't have to show all your work and that kind of stuff. Wolfram Alpha is a nice easy one. It has a kind of a limited free version. It does show you step-by-step solutions to formulas and problems that you input into it. It also shows you graphs as well, so it gives you nice visuals. As far as social studies and science and social skills go, I wasn't particularly planning on focusing on these, but I wanted to add them just because I do sub work and sometimes I cover these areas as well, so it was nice to have the resources. For my social studies, I put PBS students. I've used that both in the classroom and actually in my grad program as well. Great resource right there. Oregon Trail, I've used that several times, and we've probably all used Kahoot several times in our grad program, which is funny because I actually hadn't used it until I entered the grad program, but now I try to implement it into my lessons in the classroom as well because the students really enjoy that one. As far as science goes, BoardMaker software is actually really handy, especially when you have experiments with very detailed and complicated directions in them. It simplifies the directions into visual pictures that you can explain with very um, simple descriptions of those pictures and steps. So it's great for, say, EL students, so that there isn't very like long, lengthy descriptions and that kind of stuff. I marked Froguts here. It's also the same thing, or very similar to Digital Frog. It's like a virtual reality dissection simulator. So it's great, especially if, you know, a student doesn't want to do a dissection personally, or if you don't have the supplies or the availability to do it. It's a great way to still have access to showing students that kind of material. And as far as another kind of very important, or at least what I think is very important resource, is actually most of NASA's resources that they give to students. So I marked two of them here. So NASA Virtual Reality Field Trip and the Virtual Microscope are both great resources that I found on the NASA website. As far as social skills, this one is a little bit shorter here. The ones that I've marked are just ones that I've used before in the classroom. Board games, card games, whether they're flashcards or vocab cards, or I've seen other teachers do board games, that kind of stuff, really builds social skills between the students, gets them talking, gets them communicating with each other. Camp Discovery is a great resource for students with autism. So if you do come across students that are in that category, then that's a good resource for you. And then roleplay. Roleplay can be used in many subjects, whether they're reenacting a scene from history or a play from a book or anything like that. Roleplay is a great resource. Thank you for listening. I know this was kind of a little longer than a lot of your guys's, but I appreciate it. Thank you.